Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Whenever you are seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, it's been a minute since I've seen y'all, and I have been filming way too much and just doing way too much work to have the energy to come to y'all with a video. And I have finally finished the product and released the product that I have been working on. So if anybody has ever wanted to take a tarot class from me and you couldn't because of scheduling, or you have kids and you can't have the afternoons free, or you work at night, or you go to class at night, or whatever the case may be, you just haven't been able to sit down and do a tarot course with me, you can now do the tarot course on your own. So over the last week and a half, I've been working on a new tarot guide, and I'm filming all of the tarot sessions for my first ever self-led tarot course. So it launched today. If you guys are interested in getting the tarot course, then you can check the link down below in the description. I'm going to have the link there. Whenever you guys get your ticket, I'm going to send you an email that's going to have your guidebook. It's going to have the link to each video separately. It's also going to have the link to the playlist as well. And yeah, you can basically go through it on your own. There also is a 21-day challenge. And you guys know in my tarot courses, we get into everything. You know, building your intuition. We talk about crystals to use, candle work that you can do, affirmations, meditation. We finish with a collective guided meditation. We do symbolism for all of the major arcana, all of the minor arcana. We talk about cleansing exercises and intuitive exercises and tarot preparation and opening and closing and, you know, everything. We get into everything in these tarot classes. So if you guys are interested and you've never been able to take my course, the course is now available for you to take it on your own. I do have my group chat that I am allowing you guys to join. The information for that is going to be in the email as well. If you guys have any questions while you're taking the course, you can always reach out to me. And of course, you'll be getting a certificate of completion whenever you finish the course as well. So yes, guys, I've been teaching tarot for over a year now, and I've been reading tarot for going on 4 years. So it's definitely a tool that I love. I definitely think it's something that is super beneficial whenever you're working to build your intuition. I feel I've done a very good job of putting together a program that allows you to do just that, building your intuition while using this tool to help you start a business. If you want to start a business, we're going to be talking about how to do that, reading for yourself and other people. We're going to be talking about how you can just read for yourself. So we're going to be getting into everything. So again, the link is going to be down there in the description, and that's what I've been working on for the last week and a half, literally, and I just wrapped it up today. So I was like, I have to do a video for you guys today, and this video is going to be a chit chat video, and we're going to be talking about why it's overrated to be the bigger person, while it's played out to be the bigger person, and why you should no longer be the bigger person. That's what we're going to be talking about. And that might seem a little, I don't know how that seems, but I was thinking about it this morning. Like, being the bigger person is such like a farce. It's such a joke. Like, it's not even a real thing. I don't know why we even have been conditioned or pushed to be the bigger person. I'm telling you right now, being the bigger person is overrated, and you do not need to be the bigger person in 2024. So now seriously, the reason I'm saying this is because a lot of times being the bigger person is kind of like a crutch that people use to not speak their truth, not stand on their boundaries, you know, not break up a relationship or a friendship. You be the bigger person. You accept this person back into your life without them apologizing. Okay, you be the bigger person. You really need to say something. You really have something that's bothering you, but you don't say nothing. You be the bigger person, and you walk away bothered and upset, without being able to speak how you're feeling, without being able to express yourself, without being able to see if that person would even understand and validate you, you know? You really do a disservice to your relationship, and you do a disservice to the other person on the other end of that relationship when you be the bigger person. You know, the both of you are supposed to be the bigger people together. You know, you both have to have a conversation. You both have to sit down. And it's one thing if being the bigger person meant having a talk and, you know, somebody just doesn't say anything and you just say everything and you get your way and they don't ever contribute. No. Being the bigger person usually means like surrender. It usually means standing down. It usually means, you know, just kind of allowing stuff to continue on when you know you don't deserve it, when you know it's affecting you negatively. You just be the bigger person. And I think that's very overrated, you know, and I think people have been saying, you know, like, people have always joked, like, how do you expect me to be the bigger person and I'm this tall or whatever. But I don't think anybody should be the bigger person. I think if you're in a situation where you feel someone is being immature and you have to be the adult in the situation, then you really shouldn't be in a situation with them. Does that mean you need to cut off all your friends? Maybe it does. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, but do you really want people in your life where, you know, someone has to be immature? Like, we are adults. You know, I don't know how old you guys are unless you are 12 years old watching this. Seriously, if you 17, 18, whatever, 16 even, and you are watching these videos because you want to better yourself spiritually, then you're already light years ahead of the people that are around you. So if you are here, you are mature enough to know the repercussions of, you know, silencing your voice, holding back your truth, not speaking what you need, you know, letting people walk all over you. Like, it's not just being the bigger person, it really makes you smaller. You might feel like you're being the bigger person in that moment, you know, taking responsibility, kind of, you know, airing everything out so we can all move forward. But in reality, you're shrinking yourself down so they can be the bigger person, so they can be the one who gets what they want, who walks away feeling like they just did something. And you're the one that really has something on your chest that's weighing heavily on you, and you're not allowing yourself to speak on it. You're not allowing yourself to, you know, release yourself from that. So I think, you know, something that we should really challenge ourselves to do is just speak up. I always say, if you see something, say something. And I know I'm not the first person to say that. I know you've probably heard it before in your life. So really live by that. If you see something, say something. If something bothers you, speak on it. And if you can't have a conversation with somebody about something that has bothered you, then it's probably a chance that you shouldn't really have that person in your life, no matter who they are. Because what happens when something bothers you? They let you know, I guarantee you. Now, you could be in a situation where someone, you know, just has a problem with communication altogether, because a lot of times people don't have a problem with communication. People have a problem with listening and respecting you. They can communicate how pissed off they are at you, how mad you made them, how frustrated they are with you. They can communicate that just fine. But when it comes to listening, respecting you, you know, compromising, that's where they lose you. So sometimes communication isn't necessarily the problem. And when you're in a space with someone who will not speak up about the things that are bothering them, and you're also not the type of person to speak up about the things that are bothering you, eventually there will be a rift in the relationship, because there is no communication, there is no balance of energy. You know, even if you have to be the one to say, hey, let's have a conversation, you know, you want people in your life where you can communicate with them in a healthy space. And if you're not comfortable doing that, and people have to be the bigger person with you, then it's time for you to mature as well, spiritually and emotionally as a whole. You know, we should be able to communicate how we're feeling no matter what. I think we all have certain triggers that can reawaken our inner child, that might make us throw a little tantrum or pout or get an attitude or, you know, be mean and not really want to say nothing. Okay, cool. But you always have to be able to find your way back to yourself, even if you have an outburst or whatever, because again, we're not perfect. You know, there's going to be times where we feel good about how we express ourselves. And there's going to be times when we're going to feel like, you know, I should have done that a little bit better. I should have handled that in a more mature way. You know, we all have ups and downs in how we handle ourselves, how we handle the people around us. And the point is just setting the standard for yourself and setting an example of what can happen on a positive note when you're able to have communication with people, speak about what you need, and move forward. Because being the bigger person really comes down to communication. It comes down to a lapse in communication where you know you're not going to get anywhere with this person. So you have to put down your flag and walk away from the fight and, you know, surrender. Like I said, you have to surrender and not get what you want. And they get to be the one that wins in the end. And sometimes we're in relationships where we flip-flop. You know, you win sometimes and your partner might win. You might be the bigger person to apologize, and then your partner will come apologize, or your friend will. And that's not good either. You know, in any situation where people's feelings have been hurt, it's a chance that both people's feelings are hurt. Because if you love someone, you're going to be hurt knowing that you hurt them. You know what I'm saying? So there's a space for everybody to apologize. There's a space for everybody to recognize how they could have set a better boundary or communicated better or been more open or been more, you know, clear about what they needed. Like, there's always an opportunity to better both sides, because anytime there's a rift in the relationship, there's a problem that has, you know, come up and both people haven't handled it properly, whether it's a romantic relationship, platonic, even in career, you know, because sometimes we have to be the bigger person on our job all the time. But anytime there's an imbalance in a relationship, something is not being met on both sides. Two people are in a space where their needs aren't being met. So chances are, if you have to have a conversation with someone, there's something that they need to say to you as well. Now, everybody isn't going to be able to respect you, like I said, hear you out, validate what you have to say. But in a situation like that, you shouldn't want that person in your life. Like, if you're always having to be the bigger person because you know someone's going to gaslight you or manipulate you, then you shouldn't ever even have a conversation with them, to be honest. Like, and that shouldn't sound extreme, you know? And I'm someone that doesn't have a lot of friends, so I'm someone that knows that the more particular you are about who you allow around you, the less people that you will have around you. That's just the God honest truth. There is no way around it. The majority of people are suffering and struggling spiritually in ways that they can't even understand. You know, the majority of people don't know why they're nasty, why they have attitude problems, why they have anger, why they have rage, why they're jealous of people that they love. You know, most people don't understand why they think unhealthy relationships are healthy, why they keep stepping into toxic spaces. Everybody doesn't get that. Everybody ain't in therapy. You know, therapy is still very stigmatized in the Black community among certain groups. And just, you know, overall, most people feel like they can do it on their own. Most people feel like they don't need help. Most people feel like they don't need God. They don't need spirituality. They don't need to ask themselves how they're doing. They could just kind of go through life. And whether you are religious or not, or spiritual or not, you have to have something that brings you joy, makes you happy, can allow you to understand yourself, can allow you to have a relationship with yourself. Like, that is what we're here for. We are here to fulfill our purpose. We are here to know ourselves and learn who we truly are. Like, you are not this flesh. You are not this flesh. You are a spirit that has a purpose beyond this flesh. A spirit that has a purpose beyond what you can physically achieve and do. And you have to understand that and know your purpose. And that's why I think a lot of us, we're not aware of our purpose. You know, we just feel like, I know I'm supposed to heal people and help people, but I really don't know why. It's like, the why don't even matter, because as you go throughout life, you're going to be doing that, you know? And I think a lot of times people have issues in communication because, you know, they aren't able to step into that open mindset that tells them that everything's going to be okay no matter what, whether they get what they need or not. That tells them that they need to focus on the bigger picture, because the bigger picture of a relationship where you aren't able to communicate with someone, the bigger picture is y'all just don't need to be around each other. Y'all not meant for each other. Y'all shouldn't be in each other's lives, period. You know, and when you're disconnected from who you are, when you're disconnected from your spirit energy, you don't feel an instant aversion to things that disrupt your spirit, because you're already disconnected, you know? It's kind of like being in a space where you're eating bad stuff and then someone gives you something else that's bad and you're like, okay, I've been eating bad stuff this whole time, so this doesn't really mean anything to me, you know? Or you've been conditioned to eat a certain way. Kind of like when you're vegan and you eat meat, your system is not used to running on that. So when you eat meat or drink alcohol or take medicine or do things like that and your system is clean, it's going to affect you in an adverse way, versus someone else who is used to kind of bringing these things into their body on a regular basis. Baby, they can go to McDonald's and eat whatever they want off the menu and they're going to be fine. You're going to be in a bed for a couple of days, you know? Seriously. So I think, you know, getting your spirit right is really the first step in being able to walk away from things, because it hurts to have to walk away from stuff. I've had to walk away from friendships that have hurt me, you know, that I'm fucking still hurt about, you know, realistically. But, you know, the alternative is getting my spirit accustomed to accepting that when I know it's not. And I think that would be really disappointing for me, to set a certain standard for myself and then slowly kind of see myself start to sink back into that space when I was accepting anything. Because there was a time when I was always the bigger person. I always kept my mouth shut. I never got what I deserved, and I didn't really care about getting what I deserved. You know, my focus was community. My focus was having people around me. My focus was being nice, being liked, keeping everybody happy, until I realized, like, why am I fighting for these relationships when these people aren't even willing to fight for me? You know, why am I doing all of this effort to try to appease this person and make them happy and make them comfortable when they can't even hear me out? You know, it's like, why am I ready to give everything and sacrifice everything to make this work when they're not even willing to have a simple conversation? Emotions can only go so far. Anger can only go so far. And if you're that mad at me, then maybe we just shouldn't be cool. Real shit. Like, if you're that mad, then maybe we just shouldn't be in each other's lives. And I think it takes a lot of maturity to accept that. Some things we can't come back from. Everybody makes mistakes, yes, but some things we cannot come back from. So when you're in a space like that, you know, the more you accept those things, the more you allow that stuff to happen and just kind of rely on being the bigger person, you're going to feel in some sick way that you're actually a good friend, that you're actually a good wife, a good husband, a good partner, a good friend, a good daughter, because you're not telling this person how they've hurt you. You're letting them live in their la la land. They're mad for a few more days, then they get over it and everything goes back to normal until the next time. And you think that you're keeping the peace. You kind of have pride in the fact that you feel like you're keeping the peace in these spaces. The devil comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I'm sorry, but that is a thought from the devil. Ooh, that is a scary thought. And the reason I say it's a thought from the devil, because it's like, why would you think your friend of the year, because what do we say? I'm such a good friend. Or I don't know why these people do this to me. I'm such a good friend. It's like, are you a good friend to yourself first? That's how you know if you're a good friend. Are you a good friend to you? The person who needs you the most, you've let you out in the cold. You've left you completely alone and abandoned to take care of everybody else and make sure everybody else has what they need. But what about what you need? What about what you need? Like, that's not a healthy thought. You know, that thought is rooted in codependency. It's rooted in abandonment issues. It's rooted in unhealthy connections. You know what I'm saying? And this is something that can happen consistently in relationships that you have, but you can also do it with strangers, where you're very passive with people that disrespect you in public, are rude to you, are nasty to you. Now, the world is a very, very crazy place. But when we allow people to make us feel small, it does something to us. There's one thing about making yourself feel safe. There's another thing about letting someone kind of reinforce the fact that you're not worthy, that you are small, that you don't matter. Like, that's another thing entirely. And I don't want to say that it's worth risking your life, but you're risking your spirit every time you do that. So maybe it's the same risk. I don't know. It's just as spooky if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's up to you to demand respect. It's up to you to get what you need. It's up to you to be in relationships that give you space to feel, because you don't always want to compromise. You don't always want to communicate. Like, sometimes emotions do get in the way and you will be hurt. But it's like, when you're in spaces where you always have to be that bigger person, you don't even get a chance to be hurt. You don't even get a chance to ever feel your emotions, because they're instantly making it about how you're the problem. It's always about them. You never get a chance to say, but this bothered me, this hurt me. Can you not see it from my perspective? Because no matter what they do to you, you can always see how they could be upset. Even if they did something to you that made you do something small to them and they retaliated in a bigger way and now they mad that you mad. Like, it could be anything, you know? But as someone who used to be the bigger person, you easily put yourself in that person's shoes and resonate with them, sometimes without them even asking for it. You immediately offer an apology. You immediately offer a solution, because it's nothing for you to take that accountability, you know? Imagine if you were in a relationship with someone like that, and while you were still confused trying to figure it out, right before you said, okay, I'm going to apologize, they apologized. They took responsibility. They took accountability. They said, I see how this is affecting you and I'm sorry about that. What do we need to do to move forward and make this better? If you don't have any solutions, this is what I think we should do. How would you feel if someone gave you that effort? You know, how would you feel if someone prioritized your feelings? You know, like, the reason that I'm okay with my pinch of friends, it's not even a handful of them on my pinch. The reason I'm good with my pinch is because I get, like, it's a rush and a high having good relationships, and nothing beats, you know, having someone that knows your thoughts, that knows your energy. Nothing beats having someone that can reach out and apologize before you even really understand what happened. You know, like, while you're still uncomfortable in processing, they can take accountability. Nothing beats being in a space where they allow you to take accountability and they're able to kind of piggyback off of that as well and come up with a game plan with you. You know, someone that will never tear you down, will never disrespect you, will never violate you, will never treat you like somebody off the street. Nothing is better than that. You know, too many relationships and too many friendships, you do one thing to someone, or you disagree with them, or they're already in a frustrated state and you become the enemy. You become a target, and you have to back up. You have to surrender. You have to say, whatever I'm feeling doesn't matter, because their feelings are more important than mine. Whatever I need doesn't matter, because what they need is more important right now in this moment. It's kind of like if a parent is very, very frustrated and their child is having a tantrum, they're going to be like, let me tend to my child. You know, I can't go in the bathroom and lock the door and take 10 minutes to myself because my child needs me. Unless this is your baby, you shouldn't be doing that. Like I said, we grown, we adults. So unless someone literally is an infant, you should not be putting what you have on hold to tend someone who is a grown adult that can tend to themselves. Like, period. And it goes both ways, because whoever is on the receiving end, they also need to deal with their emotions. But you have to have people in your life who deal with their emotions in a healthy way. You have to have people around you who deal with their emotions in a way that you can resonate with, you know, where you guys can kind of cope in the same manner, you communicate in the same manner, you express those things in a way that benefits each other. And yeah, that means that sometimes you can't be with everybody and have every kind of friend, and that's okay. If you're someone that's very, very sensitive, you might not want to have a friend that gets aggressive when they're upset, because some people do. Some people get mad. Some friends get mad. They talk crazy to each other. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, we're just friends. That's how we are. Some siblings fight like cats and dogs, you know. So if you're somebody that doesn't like that, you're not that type of person, you might not want friends like that. I am not that type of person. I don't do well with verbal abuse, even if we're friends. Like, you have to talk to me a certain way. And what does that mean? I cannot have friends who think they're going to talk to me a certain way, because I can talk crazy too, but I'm choosing not to talk crazy. And if I'm choosing not to talk crazy and respect you, then I expect you to choose to not to talk crazy and respect me in return, you know? Like, that's how I feel. I feel like anybody is capable of doing what I can do to them back to me. And most people on the receiving end of you always submitting to them, they don't ever expect you to, you know, talk them down or make them feel small. Like, I'm going to respect you because I know you could disrespect me if I disrespect you. So why would I enter this with disrespect when I know I can get disrespect back? Like, that's why we don't even start it, because we know how they're going to respond. We know what's on the other end of that. Like, you have to be a very bold person to disrespect people and not think you're going to get disrespected back. That's literally crazy to me. But because I'm a child of God, folks don't get disrespected back when they disrespect me. I just, you know, remove myself from the situation, and I hope that God continues to bless them and, you know, touch their mind and their body. But, you know, bless them. But, you know, like I was saying, a lot of times people who aren't able to understand their emotions, a lot of people who are driven by ego, who are driven by anger, driven by rage, there's a lot of trauma there. There's a lot that they've experienced, and they feel like they have to protect themselves in such a way that repels anything that they think is a little funny. You know, sometimes the people that are close to you are going to hurt you. It doesn't mean that they're conspiring against you. It doesn't mean that they hate you. It doesn't mean that they've been fake from the jump. You know, sometimes there's just a disconnect there. And, you know, some people are able to kind of understand that and forgive and move forward, and some people aren't. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. If you say that somebody got one time to make you feel funny and to screw them, they're fine. But like I was saying, split ways with these people. You know, don't just continuously have someone in your life if you know they aren't for you and if you know you aren't for them. You know, give yourself the opportunity to actually find people that want to connect with you in the way that you need to be connected with, versus just kind of allowing a free-for-all where you let anybody around you because you're prepared to be the bigger person and kind of take the L no matter what. You know, stop doing that. Stop doing that. Let these couple of months, whatever you was doing in the past couple of months, let that be the last time you do that. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this spiel, this little rant about, you know, why being the bigger person is overrated and why it benefits you to get what you deserve, even if it means that you'll have a smaller group of friends, even if it means that it's going to take you a while to find a partner that really loves and respects you. But I mean, don't you want to be loved and respected? Like, who gives a fuck about the time? The time doesn't matter. You know, the quality is all that matters. The quantity is not what matters. You know, we focus on things that don't matter. Being able to take a girls trip with 12 friends would be great. You will be able to do that. But you need to do that with people that respect you and love you. You know, being able to have a bunch of people on speed dial that you can call that can pray for you and lift you up is great. But having a bunch of people in your phone where you don't even know if they really like you, you feel like they only like you in certain spaces, you feel like it's conditional, that's not a space anybody needs to be in. Certainly not you guys, and certainly not me, you know? So yeah, I just want to kind of challenge you guys to speak your truth, express yourself, stop being afraid, demand what you want, build up the relationship with yourself so you stand up for yourself, so you respect yourself. Because even if I don't want to say nothing, I can't let you handle me any kind of way. I have to back me up. Even if I'm like, oh, I ain't got to say nothing, I'm like, yes, I do. Because I know how I am, and I can't let nobody, you know, take advantage of me. Like, I got bullied a lot growing up, and when I got older, I was very anti-bully. So if a bully comes around, I'm like, how fucking dare you pick on somebody because you think they ain't gonna tell you nothing? I'm about to tell you something. Come and fucking pick on me. Like, don't fucking play with them. Play with me. You know, like, I'm very anti-bully. So I have to be that way for myself. If somebody tries to play with me, I have to be very anti-bully. I have to protect myself. And you have to see both sides of yourself, because you do have a voice. You are strong. You do protect yourself. You just are selective in where you do it. And if you don't do it at all, then you have to find your voice. You have to find reason to protect yourself, and you have to think about how you feel when people are not respecting you. And you have to know that it's worth it to get the respect that you deserve from the people around you. It definitely takes time, but the people that really love you are never going to make you feel uncomfortable. They're never going to make you feel less than. You're never going to have anxiety about feeling weird or feeling stupid. Like, they're never going to disrespect you, you know. And even if they do hurt your feelings, they're going to be able to have a communication with you. They're going to be able to have a conversation with you, compromise with you, like give you the respect that you deserve, and you'll be able to do the same to them and have it be received. Because also, when you're being the bigger person, they don't even really care. Like, they really don't even care. Like, it's not like they're like, wow, this person really loves me. No, they still hate you. Even though you decided to be the bigger person, they still don't like you, okay? So you really don't gain anything from that, seriously. Like, they will still secretly not like your ass. So just stop. Just stop it, okay? But yes, guys, that's the spiel. Let me know how you feel about this drag. I'm sure you guys are going to be like, I needed this drag. I know, because I low-key needed it too. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And I will see y'all next time. And make sure you guys check out the tea for the tarot class. I'm super, super, super excited to get into it. Make sure you guys check it out. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. And I appreciate y'all. And I'll see y'all later. Bye, guys. Bless.